Okay, so let me explain. There is this streamer on this app that I stream on, this other app that I stream on called MeetMe, and his name on there is I'm So Chill. And I met this person about maybe a year ago. I have to say, I can't really remember when I met him. I host streams on different platforms that do different things. So on TikTok, I do my psychic readings, my metaphysical advice. On YouTube, I do my spiritual talks. On Facebook, friends and family, and then also more about my business. And then on Meet Me, it's like a conversation stream. So I host like debates, interesting discussions, current event topics, things of that nature. And I always try to like look at it from a higher spiritual perspective because I'm a healer. That's what I do. So I had this individual named I'm So Chill from the app started coming to my streams about a year ago. He's a black man in his 40s, nothing special, just a regular guy on the app going around and jumping in people's guest boxes and contributing his opinion. Now, I noticed from the first time I met him that he's a very controversial person, which on streams you like. You like people that are controversial because then it gets people, to participate or to like want to be part of the conversation because they say outlandish things. And this person says a lot of outlandish things. He says he's FBA, which I never heard about before, but apparently it's Founding Black Americans. And he says which I don't understand his story because he says he grew up in the system. He doesn't have family. He was adopted. But then he says he's also FBA. So I don't know how he knows his lineage or his family or whatnot. But he says FBA are Black Americans that were here before slavery. I am not quite sure. Somebody can correct me on this. So he says that because he's FBA, any other race is below him. And even Black people in the Black community is below him if they're not FBA. Only FBA matters. So, he had some very interesting viewpoints, needless to say. But every time we debated, I would beat him at it. And everybody knew I would beat him at it because I would be really good at, sharing my thoughts, my views, and whatever. This guy even agreed that I beat him at it. So he linked me with this guy that has a YouTube channel. And on that YouTube channel, he has like men and women talking about different things. Now, I noticed when he invited me to this person's channel, I was not sure because I was like, are you trying to set me up? Like, oh yeah, Uma, I think you're great. Why don't you come to this channel? And, it's great for discussions, but they're all really going to gang up on me. That's what I thought it was. But he assured me, Chill assured me, no, that's not what the case is going to be. He assured me that everything would be fine. So he arranged a call for me to talk to this guy who owns the YouTube channel. And we hit it off right from the get-go because, he's a great guy. He's doing great with his channel. He invited me on the show. I did so well on the show that the owner of the channel invited me back. In fact, he offered me a weekly spot to be on this panel. And the panel was all Black females. And I was like the token person of color, the other minority groups on the app. Fine. We talked about different topics, whatever. I shared my viewpoint. And it was going well for a while. In fact, one time on the show, the owner of the app said that my clips, because he would make clips from the videos, and he said my clips were going viral. Like I would get over 1,000 views and there would be a lot of comments, a lot of traction. So he liked that because, of course, anybody who owns a channel want their channel to trend and whatnot. So he was happy for, the things that I brought. And he would encourage me like, yeah, Uma, you think differently. And he would say, yeah, share your thoughts and whatever, or ask questions that are, not like triggering, But essentially, he asked me to run with the controversial because it does good to like trend on the app and whatnot. So I would ask controversial questions. I would make controversial statements. Of course, nothing hate related because we're on an app that is YouTube. So, that's a professional place. We want to make sure that it's good content. And besides, that's not my MO, is I don't preach division or segregation or hate, so whatever I'm asking that's challenging people, it's all within polite company conversations. Okay. So I want to get that out the bat. So I was doing great on that show. So now Chill is upset because Chill's telling everybody he gave me that opportunity and he made me. That's what he wants to tell people, is that he made me. And I'm trying to tell him I've been streaming for 16 years, first on Facebook, then on YouTube, then on TikTok and MeetMe and all these other different apps. So I said, no, you didn't make me. You formed a connection. All you did was linked me to the owner of that YouTube channel, and I did the rest, right? Because I'm the one who had the interview. I'm the one who brings what I bring every week to the show to help the show. And there's no lies about that because that's what the owner told me. So unless the owner's lying to me, then I don't know. But that's what he told me, that I was a great addition to the show. Okay. So then this person, even though he invited me to that show, he would show up every week that I was on and then troll me from the comments. And it wasn't even like he was trolling me about the things I was talking about. He would troll me with personal information. He started doxing me. He released information about my health insurance. He started, doxing me and trolling me about my personal relationship with my partner, about my children. He started making accusations about me, saying that I'm a liar, that I lie about everything. He said I lie about me being a homeowner. I'm lying about owning a business. Like everything I have pretty much said, he says is a lie. He has absolutely no proof. He has absolutely nothing to go off of besides his delusions. So because of this, right, this constant harassment from this individual, both on the MeetMe app and then off the MeetMe app, because, on YouTube and whatnot, I decided to block him from my stream. So he can't come to my stream. So what happens is when I go to other people's streams, because we have mutual friends in common, when I go to other people's streams, he would be there. And I would do the grown-up thing and ignore him. But he would continuously target me. And now it's escalating because now he's making racial comments. He's talking about my ethnicity. He's talking about my country, where I'm from. He's talking about like all these other things. Now, mind you, I'm a US citizen, right? I'm what they call Indo-Guyanese. So I was born to Indian Guyanese parents. I'm a naturalized US citizen. So he has nothing to go off of this besides just his own hate of me. And when I would go to people's streams, he would make so many racial comments to me that it would be so bad. And then the hosts of those streams would not stop him. So I would have to end up leaving, right? And then he would say to me, and he would say to everybody that he's not racist because he's Black and Black people can't be racist. But then he would make all these sorts of racial comments towards me. So I've been dealing with this for over a year now, of this man trolling me, stalking me. He has admitted to people that he stalks all my social media profiles to find out as much information about me. When I blocked him from my stream, he created a whole new fake account to come into my stream, not to troll me, but to gift me and to talk to me. In fact, I had no clue it was him because this person was lovely. They would come in, they would be there like every day I streamed. They were there in my stream every day, all day. They would gift me, they would compliment me. And I was like, I don't know who they are because we don't know who you guys are, right? We just see your picture and your name, so we don't know who you are. So I just assumed, like most streamers do, that you're just a different person until one of my friends pointed out, that's Chill. And then we found out that it was Chill. Okay, so now I'm beginning to get concerned. All right, part 2 coming up.